the lobby area, if there are any teachers hanging around, just lasso them in. Shri Krishna. How much is each book? How much is each book? So $8. $8 कर लो. Okay, we will begin with Sahana Bhavatu. Today you can avail the books, and today you will not require the book. From next week you will. The reason today I will be going through the introduction of what is Upanishad and why is Upanishad such an important aspect of Hindu Sanatana Dharma thinking pattern. So we'll go through that. Hopefully, how many of you are from the second session? So first session teachers are absconding. So we should make sure that we reach out to the teachers in the first session. Or benefit of doubt, they are still wrapping up with their students. So benefit of doubt. So let us begin with Sahana Bhavatu and Guru Brahma and then jump in straight to the topic. Sahanavavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryamkaravavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. Welcome to the teacher satsang. Henceforth, every Sunday, we will have the discussions on Ishavasyopanishad, specifically focusing on the introductory portion of this book, Ishavasyopanishad. Can I borrow one book? Thank you. If you look at the entire book, you will see that almost first 70 pages of the total 155 pages, 70 pages, meaning 85 pages is the Upanishad, 70 pages is the introduction to this Upanishad. And in his very introduction he says 21 days of Upanishad. So So, he has spoken on this book, on this particular Upanishad for 21 days. I am guessing the first 11 days he spoke only on the introduction as the foundation for understanding a Upanishad. So, this makes it a very beautiful, interesting read. So, my focus is to go through the introduction only through this year. If we have time, then we will see through the Upanishad as well, because in another 2 weeks' time, when the discussions will begin, there will be at least one per week who will ask, when are we getting to the Upanishad portion? So, my disclaimer right in the beginning, I am not intending to get to the, thank you, I am only intending for इंट्रोडक्शन ओनली. कॉम्प्रेंडे? ठीक से समझ में आया? थैंक यू. But I treasure this 70 pages. This gives a very good foundation into various aspects of understanding our own dharmic standpoint. Now, before we enter into the sanctity of the Upanishad, the basis for this as to why Upanishad, where does this come, how do we understand Upanishad? First and foremost, Upanishad is an integral part of Vedic literature. Many of us assume that there are several Vedas, right? How many Vedas do we have? यही गलती करते हैं हम, that we have 4 Vedas. We don't have 4 Vedas. We have one Veda which has 4 integral segments called Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda. But it all comes under one volume called Veda. Upanishad is an integral part of Vedic literature. What does Upanishad mean? Can you all come closer? No, that is what it means. Upa meaning closest. So, according to the very word and its definition, what is the closest? These 2 pillows are the closest. Upa, sannihita, sannihita, that which is the closest, Upa. Ni, the Upanishad has 3 parts to it. Upa is the first part. Upa means closest. Ni indicates nischayena. Nischayena, what would be the translation into English? Assertedly so. Assertedly so. Closest, and it is ascertained. Ascertaining what should be the question. Closest ascertaining to Sat. But Swami, it is Upanishad, right? Yes. Though when we say it, it is Upanishad, like the Shankara Sha Upanishad. No, sorry, the Usha Sha. What happens is, Sa when followed by Ni in Sanskritam grammar, it changes to, the Sa changes to Sha. Therefore, it is Upanishad. But when you break it down, it becomes Upa, Ni, Sat. So the assertion of taking us, our minds, closest to Sat. Now, what does Sat mean? Truth. Somebody said something else. The ultimate reality. Sat means that which is reality. So anybody studying this is called the seeker of truth. Study of Upanishad is taken up by the seeker or the seekers of truth. Therefore, the study of this Satvastu, the ultimate reality, is called Satsanga. What does Satsanga mean? Sangha means Sangha is companion. You said? Together, joining. Sangha means association. The word meaning is association. Associating our minds to the truth. Therefore, it is called Satsanga. Now, what does Satsanga promise? What is the benefit of Satsanga? The Satsanga should necessarily lead to Nissanga. Nissanga means disassociation. If Sangha means association, Nissanga means disassociation. So from next week, you don't need to come to this class. Why? Satsanga should necessarily lead to Nissanga, disassociation. So you have now the valid answer. Why are you not coming to teacher satsang? Because the benefit of teacher satsang is Nissanga, therefore we are disassociated with that class. One has to be clear, what is it that is being pointed at as Nissanga, disassociation? What are we disassociating from? Anything that stops us seeking the truth, we disassociate from it. How? By understanding Satsanga. Meaning, Satsanga is a platform which takes us towards the truth, and that wisdom, that illumination removes all the obstacles that come our way towards understanding that truth. And those who are practicing such is called mumukshu. Mumukshu, the one who has the intensity for moksha. As soon as this class is done, where are you heading down to? नहीं, एक क्लास हो गया, उसके बाद कहाँ जा रहे हैं? क्यों? Straight to the point, I like that. Khana khane. So we are all called bhubukshu. Thank you. Intensity for I'm smiling. See, both our brahmacharis are down with COVID. They are quarantining, but as a safety measure, I am also masking. they're recovering. The whole of last week was their fever spell. Now it is the lack of energy. So they have briefly become Bengali. पता है क्यों? Chatterjee, Mukherjee, Banerjee, no energy. Otherwise, I would have been also rushing as soon as the session is done for my lunch. So those who are intensely planning towards food because of hunger is called bubukshavaha. And those who are intensely longing for moksha are called mumukshavaha. If you understand Sanskrit, then you can play around with it a lot. Supposing your food is ek akela kela. One lone banana is there. How do you eat a banana? You peel it and then you eat it. Simple. Be very specific. Peel what and eat what? Right? One has to be clear. You peel the fruit and eat the peel. If it is a bakri or a cow, then probably it will love the skin also. But we human beings, we tend to peel the skin and then eat the fruit. What is the peel? It is that which is stopping you from the fruit. So if satsanga, what is the disassociation, nissanga? The peel. Why? It does not appeal. Now you give that banana to a small kid, a crawling 4-5-month-old. There's a banana in front of them. What will they do? They will show all their love. Hold it tightly. It starts leaking through the crevices of their hand. And then they will bite in, unmindful of the fruit or the peel. Why? They do not have the clarity. Those of us who have the clarity, what should we be doing? And then, not like what Vidura did to Bhagavan Krishna. Do you know the story? Bhagavan Krishna visits as an ambassador of Pandavas to Kauravas. Kauravas, under the leadership of Shakuni, Dushyasana, Duryodhana and Karna, had 3 different schemes of plots to assassinate Bhagavan Krishna. One of them was to host Bhagavan Krishna and feed him poisonous food. If he is eliminated, Pandavas can be eliminated. So Bhagavan Krishna knew that they are going to scheme something like that. Before they could even offer their hospitality, Bhagavan Krishna himself said, "Hey Vidura, would you mind if I come to your house?" Vidura was ecstatic. He didn't even expect that he was in the line, that he could call Bhagavan to his house. So he took him home, washed his feet, gave him the asana, and his wife, Bhagavan was truly an Atithi that day. It was unannounced. Atithi is that who comes unannounced. We don't call them gate crashers. We call them Atithi. Just on the side note, if somebody has informed you prior and visited you, what are they called? Tithi. They are not called Tithi, they are called Abhyagati. Abhyagati and Atithi. Abhyagati is the one that who has already intimated you that they are going to visit you. Agati is the one that is coming. Abhyagati, the one who has already informed you about their coming. Atithi, कोई information नहीं है. So Bhagavan truly became Atithi Devo Bhava. Deva himself was the Atithi. So Mrs. Vidura, she was also ecstatic. She gave some fruits to Vidura and said, entertain him. Let me go quickly make some good food for Bhagavan. Vidura's eyes were tearing up. Why? His beloved, his most loved one, Bhagavan, is sitting right in front of him. And in that bhava vesha, completely lost in that devotion, he took a banana, होता है ना गलती से मिस्टेक. So he threw the fruit and he gave the peel. Bhagavan, also completely lost in that devotion, was gloriously eating away the peel. It seems, depending on what she scolds, Mrs. Vidura came and saw that Bhagavan has already eaten at least 3 peels. And in her utter sheer devotion, she scolds both of them. She turns to her husband and says, so, all mothers here, husbands are like this only. Yes, Amma. Husbands are like this only, useless fellows. Why? Vidura also was like that only. Vidura's wife scolded him, saying, what idiot you are? Bhagavan has come and you are feeding him peel. And then she turns to Bhagavan and she says, my husband Murak. He is a fool. He is feeding you. What happened to you? You should have at least corrected him and said, fruit khila. So Bhagavan, in his defense, he says, it seems, O mother, I have already promised, patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti uparhitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Whatever is given in utter sheer devotion, I am going to partake that. So he has given this in utter sheer devotion. Even if your beloved comes with a peel and says, honey, oh dear honey, please eat the peel, see the devotion behind it. What are you going to say to your honey? Make? Out of that? No, she is not giving it. You cannot change my question paper. She has given you the peel to eat. He wants to put some chaat masala and then I can eat. She has given you only peel. However loved one, you would say, nah, you eat, give me the fruit. Isn't it? Why? Disassociation with that which is not the fruit, that Satvastu. What does Upanishad do? It peels away all the layers of unnecessities and gives straight that knowledge, that wisdom. And Upanishad, therefore, is for such an evolved mind which has already seen that these that which become the block are not to be entertained by the mind, and they have given up all of that. Such an evolved mind comes to the Upanishad. What are the distractions? We have put, or the Shastra itself has put it in broad classifications. 3 kinds of classifications of distraction. Putreshana, Vitteshana and Lokeshana. Putreshana, Vitteshana and Lokeshana. Eshana means desire. Putreshana. Putreshana, to fulfill sexual desire and to have progeny and to have security in that progeny for the later years. Why? Because Santana, the children, are supposed to be the ones that will give you comfort and security in this world and punya in the other world. In fact, the Smriti Granthas define putra as pum nama narakat trayate iti putraha. The one who protects the parents from the naraka called pum naraka, in the naraka, in hell, such one is called Santana, Putra. And that was in Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga. In Kali Yuga, who is a Putra? I have redefined it. My definition, okay? It is not found in scriptures. Pum nama narakam atraiva darshayati iti putraha. Who is Santana? The one who makes sure that you see that pum nama naraka here itself, in your experience, direct, is called Putra. Putreshana. Putreshana also can be of 2 types. One is called Bindu Santati, the other is called Nada Santati. Bindu Santati, that which is born of the sperm and the egg and the ovulation process, that is Bindu Santati. Bindu, the sperm. Nada Santati. Nada Santati, Guru Sishya Parampara. How many students do you have? What is your expanse of students? There is a sense of security in having children, progeny. All these 3 basic desires are for finding stability and security. Albeit it is in the wrong methods and means, but what is the basic core idea is to find that security. Security in the next generation. Putreshana. Then we have the next Eshana, Vitteshana. Vitteshana means in assets. What kind of assets? All kinds. Sthira and Chanchala. Chala and Achala. Vitta. Even Bhagavan Sri Hari has two consorts. One is Chanchala Devi, the other is Achala Devi. Who is Chanchala Devi? Lakshmi. आज आपके पॉकेट में, कल किसी के पॉकेट में, आज आपके बैंक में, कल किसी के बैंक में. Never stays in one place. Constantly is moving. Achala Devi, Bhudevi, Sthira. So we also have assets. Through the assets, what are we trying to? Security again. Knowing very well that however secure be the environment, the thieves know how to rob. They make movies out of it. Ocean 11, Ocean 12, Ocean 13, Ocean 14. देखा नहीं है? Yes or no? The best of the sophisticated systems. Where not even, शोले का डायलॉग है ना, मेरे परमिशन के बगैर यहाँ पे परिंदा भी, and then there is a kabutar that just goes by. Similarly, it is such a secure, sophisticated. What is the whole movie about? How to steal that, and how to steal that successfully. कितने movies? Have you seen the Italian Job? What is it about? To use the smallest vehicle to do massive robbery. And I can go on. Vitteshana. How much vitta is sufficient? It's a bottomless pit. When you were studying, when you were in UTD, SMU, wherever you were studying, and you had your, whether it was masters or PhD, and you used to get your TA or stipend or whatever. Anybody who grew up like that? कितना मिलता था stipend? Huh? $500. Which year are we talking about? हाँ हाँ फिर भी 89, 90. In that 500, were you able to sustain yourself for the whole month or whole year? Whole month, okay. In $500, whole month kharcha. Did you have enough time parties? क्या पार्टी देते थे मैं नहीं पूछूंगा. I'll stop there. Meaning you used to have fun also. 500 was sufficient to run for the whole month. Today, 5 figure, 6 figure, 7 figure. बताने में हिचकिचा रहे हैं. नहीं, आप मेरा क्वेश्चन पेपर नहीं बदल सकते. That is my next question. How much tax do you pay? He said more than $500. He still is not answering. It's tricky. Because usually it is in some brackets, right? 30%, 20%. So if it is 30, that means definitely 250K and up. Still not sufficient, right? Exactly. Vitta. Though the Smriti Granthas say, how much should one individual earn? They have very clear-cut picture. We'll discuss that even in Bhaja Govindam when we do it in the satsang for the adults. Supposing your entire year's expense You, your spouse, your children, your household, the running of it is X amount. Whatever be the X amount. You should plan to earn 5x. Kitna? 5x. If my kharcha is $100, how much should I be earning? $500. The first 1/5 to be given as Rajya Bhara, tax. Very clear about it. The first 1/5 should be given as tax. The next 1/5 goes in taking care of your parents, in-laws and extended family. You are the social security for your elders. Tax. Next is social welfare of your own elders. Next 1/3 is in charity, wherein you employ people to do charitable work. उन ज़माने में, in those days, it was planting trees, digging up wells, laying down roads, building Dharma Satra. Dharma Satra, where anybody, traveler, in those days there was no hotel and restaurant businesses. It was considered as Nicha Kritya. Nicha Kritya, the adhamadhama, the lowest way of earning money is through hospitality business and restaurant business. It is to be offered with no expense expected by anybody to pitch in. That is the next 1/3. What is the first 1/3? Tax. Second 1/3? Elders, including parents and in-laws. Next one? Charity. Fourth 1/5 is to support that education system which has given you Adhyatmika Vichara. If you do that, every December I don't need to cut a sorry figure called fundraising. What is the fourth one? To that Gurukula which has taught you Adhyatma Vichara, it is your responsibility to support. Fourth 1/5. The fifth 1/5 is what you spend on yourself. That much should be sufficient, says the scripture. But then, the fifth 1/5 is the tragedy. Why? There is never a limit for it as this much is sufficient. Because my X tends to infinity. Why? Dil mange more. The demands of the heart is like it keeps asking. There is no upper limit to it. So Vitteshana. A lot of strategies of how to mint wealth. Some legal methods, some illegal methods, some borderlining between. That means you have a very good CPA. What is the CPA's job? Save tax is a mediocre CPA. To avoid tax is the best CPA. Vitta, Vitteshana, to find security in that Vitta. Then comes the Lokeshana. desire to be something prominent, something famous, something powerful. That with which I can amass control over others. See, every family these days is there was joint family. Nowadays it is disjoint family, nuclear families. हम दो हमारे 1.5, हाँ इसीलिए एवरेज 1.5. How do you achieve 1.5? I don't know. I'm only talking statistics. Within that 4 people, what is the point of every argument? Who has control? Isn't it? When you have arguments with your children, what is it about? They wanting their own control, you wanting your control on them. Between the spouses, what is the argument? My way of or your way of, and whosoever way, that person has more power. Power. So that is called lokeshana. Fame, name, power, authority over as many. Now within these 3 sets of broad classifications of that which we should have nissanga from, do you know what is the most powerful of these 3? Vitteshana? Putreshana is the weakest of them all. Now imagine that if the bodily craving is the weakest which we struggle with, imagine Vitteshana and Lokeshana, how much more powerful they are. The strongest of them being Lokeshana, power over as many. The one who refuses to see Bhagavan and wants to claim himself or herself as Bhagavan holding all the power is what Puranas call as Rakshasa. But the beauty is Rakshasa. Reverse, write it down. Sakshara. Rakshasa, Sakshara. When the Rakshasa becomes a Sakshara, educated, because the key is in the education. The key is in that understanding. Key is in that clarity. The one who comes to satsanga, especially with respect to the Upanishads, has seen through all these 3 eshanas, Putreshana, Vitteshana and Lokeshana, and seen the ineffectiveness of these, that they cannot provide any security. Therefore, I as a student am not distracted by Putreshana, Lokeshana and Vitteshana. Therefore, I am qualified for Upanishad. Long time ago, when once I was talking about the same concept, somebody from the listeners' end, they said, Swamiji, if I have already grown out of Putreshana, Lokeshana and Vitteshana, then why do I need Upanishad? From the commoner's perspective, I am already evolved. Why do I need Upanishad? So here comes the next concept of dukkha nivritti and sukha prapti. Having evolved out of the putreshana, vitteshana, lokeshana promises us of a stable environment called dukkha nivritti. Dukkha nivritti is not equivalent to sukha prapti. Removal of misery is not equivalent to attaining happiness. Removal of misery is called relief. Have you driven from here to Houston with your family? Awesome. Because when you travel alone, the variables that complicate your life is minimal. But when you travel with family, hum do hamare do, it gets complicated 4x. You had your lunch, you looked at your kids, looked into their eyes and told them very clearly, use the restrooms now. Now, mama, I'm good. I am awesome. I'm good. You just crossed downtown Dallas. Mama, you know that means something dangerous. You know what I'm talking about, right? Everybody has experienced that. Hold on. The next rest area after you cross Corsicana, there is a rest area. Hold on. You see rest area. The kid is like, oh. As you approach 1 mile away, there is a blinker which says, rest area under repair. Mama! So now, anyatha sharanam nasti. Gas station eva sharanam mama. There is no other way. Now, find the nearest possible gas station. Next exit you take. Every exit has a gas station these days, right? You take the next exit. Fortunately or unfortunately, that side where you have taken exit, there is no gas station, it is on the other side. You rush. Everybody gets in. I mean, if it is some God-forsaken Wyoming or North Dakota, South Dakota, where to find a gas station is difficult, and if you find one, every gas station doesn't have restroom. Even if they have a lock. And then you rush, and it is not like an elaborate system, you have one after the other. So you know, when you go to the what ride they are called? Roller coaster rides. They take your pictures without your permission. In the most precarious condition, they'll take your pictures. Everybody's face, how does it look? So everybody going into the restroom, take a photo. Everybody coming out of the restroom, take a photo. Collage it and give it to them. How is their face when they are going inside? Unabashed, she has a perfect word. She's in sync with under pressure. As they are coming out, that is not called Sukha Prapti. It is called relief from Dukkha. Am I getting, does this make it clear? Many of us think that removal of misery is done. Life is amazing. No. That gives you Dukkha Nivritti, a relief. In that relief you will find the agitations gone, therefore your mind is in peace. Until then it was in pieces. Now it is in peace. Such a peaceful mind which is relieved from all possible dukkha and distraction is qualified for Sukha Prapti, not until then. Many of us in this particular day and age, we all want to practice meditation. स्वामी जी, हम meditation करना चाहते हैं. Do you know who is qualified for meditation? The one who has gained that inner peace, having gotten over Putreshana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana. Such one with that peaceful mind which cannot be distracted by anything else is qualified for Sukha. These three are not taken care of, but then we are told go meditate. You have got meditation apps also. When every week I get a suggestion, Swamiji, let us develop a meditation app. Achha, soothing music. There is these intervals where they can check, they can practice, they can, let's make it the most user friendly. How many of you understand Tamil? Okay, I leave it upon them to translate it to you in English. That is not called a meditation app. Aap vekkirathu. How do you translate it in English? Shooting yourself in the foot. Aa bail mujhe maar. See, if the mind is not finding that peace, you take it directly to that pursuit which is supposed to be giving you happiness. My question is, can a restless mind ever enjoy happiness? Take the Bollywood movie scene, formula. Maa bimar. Mother is sick. Sister is to get married. My lousy job I lost. My brother is a cranky fellow who has every problem with the system out there with the police. And my father died having made lot of debt. Problems. Meditation करेगा. सुख प्राप्ति मिलेगी, घंटा मिलेगा. You will not be in a position to put that effort, and you are applying a solution which cannot relieve you from that pain. A painful, distracted mind cannot find happiness. What is the immediate thing that that mind requires? A relief. A relieved mind has to find stability and peace. That peaceful mind can aim for Sukha. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna asks so many times, tells us in Bhagavad Gita, Ashantasya kutaha sukham. When the mind is distracted and is laced with, is under the pressure, it is unstable. It cannot find peace. It cannot find sukha. What mind is qualified for sukha? That mind which has found stability and peace. So therefore, this Upanishad or Upanishadic knowledge is for who? So in the Mundaka Upanishad, there is a beautiful mantra. There they say, the Guru says, Pariksha lokan karma chitan nasti akritaha kritena. The advice that he gives to the student is, Pariksha lokan. Go experiment with your life, experiment with your experiences. Until you reach to that point wherein that which you see as enticing, you come to realize is a dead end which cannot provide you both dukkha nivriti and sukha prapti. Having thus come to the conclusion, then out of dispassion come to the Guru. They will teach you how to proceed forward. Pariksha lokan. And even that we experiment with such fearful attitude. Oh, yo, if I do this, what will happen? If I do that, what will happen? It will be another experience. But we have put that mind, because of how we have been nurtured, in a dichotomy of life means it has to be successful only, accomplishments only. How can you have success and accomplishment without having a failure? Have you gone on trekking, mountains? Yes, no? Have you ever reached to the pinnacle without going through the valley? बस चढ़ते गए, चढ़ते गए, चढ़ते गए, चढ़ते गए. Have you ever visited somebody in ICU? Life throbs when there is peak and a valley through that ECG. If it is a study line, Ram Naam Satya hai. Life means there is going to be up and down. EKG, ECG tells us that. The trekking tells us that there will be a peak, there will be a valley. But how have we designed ourselves? How do we design our children also? "98? वो 2 मार्क कहां गया? भैंस चरा रहे थे, उल्लू के पट्टे." इस बीच में उल्लू ने क्या किया? Who are you actually giving गाली to yourself? उल्लू के पट्टे. Because you want every time, that's not how life works. Experiment with life, experience it. The net result should be that I have seen enough life, nothing perturbs me, nothing makes me bitter. Both aspects, nothing disturbs me and nothing makes me bitter. Because at the end of life, either you can be better or you can be bitter. You will find majority bitter. ये दुनिया हमने देखा है स्वामी जी, ये कुत्ते की दुम की तरह है. कितना भी करो वो मुड़ के उसी, the fellow is bitterness is written all over the place. But somebody who has bettered will alone be in that place where there is peace within. For reaching to that, Bhagavad Gita is the solution. Am I getting across? Having reached what Bhagavad Gita has pointed at, the next level is to come to the Upanishads, which will not talk about values, morals, ethics. There is no such talk about values, morals, ethics, because that is about the interactive world. What does it talk about? Your connection with the divine, which is an inward journey, because where is that divine? Within, not without. If I am still seeking for something that which gives me even a little bit of joy outside, that means I have not still experimented with life. So this is that unhindered direct message for the greatest ultimate truth, which alone can assure us of the greatest happiness, blissful state. But how does one reach there? Swamiji, meditation yaar. Aankh band kar lo, pahunch jao. Yes, you will reach. That is called the vertical sleep. You have to truly understand this, which the Upanishads talk about. Therefore, it is the last message of every Upanishadic Samhita, that having worked through the Vyavahara, the outside, the inside, that prepared mind benefits from it. So I have explained what an Upanishad is, who benefits from the Upanishad, and how to be prepared for it. Now we will get through the introduction as Gurudev introduces from next week onwards. So in both sessions, if you can implore upon the teachers to come to the sessions on time, in time, coming participation from both sessions. So the way I will go through it is segment wise. There are several segments in each. They're like chaptered wise he has put it. So I will go through the crux of it, give you the meaning of it in the first half an hour, then open it up for question answers for you to ask. So let's make that a discussion, because in that discussion, when the question answers, you will learn more. Is the format okay? Om Shanta Shanta Shanti Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.